the population, youthful of the youth, those that are in the high schools, also, but we have a few people are almost colleges, And we were brainstorming on what to talk about, and you decided, said then we will do something that will help when it comes to selecting schools at Yamanobeko. Meaning, say most of the time, say high schools it is usually within your zip code. But I also believe say zip codes there are some schools that ebia woman sheshe any woman niema no who say schools ejinane na so ebi wo hon so a we read statistics na wa utimi hu say we die akakaka edonti na eho akohia say ye nyina no ye besuasua na fe yetimi ehunu sedia yema womu ko school no yebeye wom. The second part so na ye decide say we will do a follow up. Next Friday I'll be on the line. For next Friday, the end of the day, we will be talking about college. Say local college, what scholarships can you get? How to assess those scholarships and things like that. Discuss it and then so. Israel Konko hine yada wase enyumrei. Wadumunti ena se yeko nyuma mpa wode yaba. Enkro bebre atwa ye ho ahia ye wiase ntokwa asi ho nti asomdwe kura ni ho. Ye de wama ya asomdwe yetumi didi tumi koba. Wadomwa enu nti yada wase. Enyumrei de emeko nyina na ehyiemu. Ena ye bedwenwen ye ma adesua ho. Ya mese wo ne se adesua yi ma ye munti ase. Boaye na ya Ghana foi. Waka che ye se kuro bia ye bekumo de ho be hye yensa no. Ma ye ntumi utilize sa adesua yi. Yemfa explore ye kuro yi mu adesua nsem. Na boaye ama ye ma ya nkasa ye de yie ni ye de nim. Osa asase so. Ejudi se wetie na obeye we Yesu din mu nti. Amen.
Amen.
Yo, ejudi for na de me no question ayi kaka ansa na me the presentation ne be ketua bi. Wa mi misa ne say your man or high schools no. What are some of the challenges as parents you facing when it comes to say obi omo school omo adesua mu any omo courses a omo ye so omo courses ko omo ye ni yenim yet ase omo teachers know how do we relate to them me here parents ni be as inquire omo ho a omo betimi amama hu some of the challenges they are facing na aboa your conversation. Ajiri for you also. I'm taking it as if we don't have any challenges, so and I baby I want in ye.
Mepacho ye was super na ye challenges in na ase. You hunu ni enka.
For me, some of the challenges that you face because I say if you were one more or you're so invested in the addition. Obi also like me say I am a school principal, but I think I did home for me say my schedule does not always allow me to be around my man. If I get the least opportunity, I utilize it well. For example, my back girl or grade 3, right? And I made it a point to say, me introducing it to the phonics because America's system education, say ban English language. They don't teach it holistically. And to be honest, Obano cambo for no the was ne we ne frafra, and it's no the frafra. and they think it's cool, original dialect, but that is not it. But I haven't got the opportunity to do it holistically. Me challenge, you know. But yeah, I mean, no high schools, no. Yeah, high school in Kolan. What are some of the challenges that we are facing with them, especially with their academics? Okay, some of the challenges that as a school principal, one of them is parental involvement in their children's education. Of course, yepiska. Enunti meko night meba na meba no kwa ko school. The course no, I have no clue. The class teachers no at the high school level no, I don't even know them. The principal cry no. I just say be a parent teacher conference and no cry just a school ne be kai me. Ebi wo ho na me refi. Enti cry me nkobi. Ana say ye de note we ma oba ne say we de hu hia pa na wakofa ho baako. But you know what? Say yenye interested so much at this level no. Say ba ne say wo mu be wie dia. Eni ebe free teacher for na me ba no course no. Na oko college dia no wonko ye a whole lot. But for the most important, you know, and see, I decided, we should talk about parental involvement. The same way I see can plan no. Say ye ma education home plan is shemwa anka ebe boyen. Anka ebe boama at some point I yebano a transition no. Ye be hunu se o. Adie way ena esese oye. Enunti the last time I share, you know, I shared with some statistics. Research no Emma Yehunu. And research no Emma Yehunu say ejidi for no krepa ne say parenta omo eye involved in omoma addition. The likelihood say enkolano ebe kosuku na nia esese womo ye in terms of omo educational trajectory ni nyina no ekoso ema womo timi be very successful. The reverse is true, where the parent involvement no it becomes a bit of a problem. In Imsana ebinomo was so. Some of these data they were privy to. I was reading a research about American Community Survey. Now, almost say in 2022, American, you know, the population na ye black no was 12%. Mind you, in fact, we review kwa ye free Ghana no near, you know. I think say canning in album is just about 3-4%. Right? In the fall of 2021, black students almost it was about 12.5% of post-secondary enrollment. And say man can kind of was see we in our crowd. Just 12.5% tells us to say we are not doing well when it comes to enrollment post-secondary after high school. No. That is a concern. So when we do research Ebi obi beka say yeah, nyo bia ne people secondary. Into obi beko trade school and all of that. The research indicates just about 5% and a war in the trades. Inti ode beka we hu is just about 17%, approximately 20%, and either enrolling in a post-secondary education or in the trades. Inti nyomo omakano omo we. Me sure pa say me ne wono. We wouldn't want our children to fall in a category where onwa oni post-secondary and ono so are onye in the trades. Now, the entia ekoba sano ebi wono mo aya na ye mofra no, they don't have the correct preparation and that's adequate preparation from the high school no one model transition call colleges no. Now research no my hunu say adisuano ni awo mu suano ehun hia pa. one of the things Emma Dema Mofrano so bit me a transition ako high school no the coursework. If the coursework is not rigorous enough, it doesn't challenge them. It doesn't prepare them holistically for high school. I was sharing that I was lucky to be in a school where we introduced what we call AVID. AVID is Advancement via Individual Determination. It's a whole scope and sequence. Now, in this scope and sequence, we are teaching in Kolano skills like how to keep a binder. Not all schools in the New York City Department of Education does that. We are teaching the Nkolano, say, and our teachers know Krano. The teachers know philosophy. Yedema woman say every lesson will be designing. I think 5 things should be in. There should be an element of writing. There should be an element of inquiry. Abofani bisa ana or question whatever oceano. There should be an element to say adiana wo chere ana se wo planning. As I said, group work be a womb. As I say at the college level no. Yenkonko ye menkwa ewo college. And so will be also even at the doctoral level yeah. Now they prefer say even if you are publishing an article and a paper, it should be more collaborative because benu kan ebomwa emia. Until there is element of collaboration that should prepare them kolane say and yet all the time ebe ye menkwa. As I said, yetimi ye boom. Na wo ya boom no eboa wo ma wone wadamfo ana wonnua etimi eka boom di bibi papa bi eba out. We teach them an element of organization. I thought that be I won't say your ma high school but to be no document bi na won hu ma. Ube bisa no bibi obehwehwa no won hu no. Into the binder system no helps to say documents that are very important, you have to organize them. Even sending a will know to require was organizing in a way that me say so we hear a certain understanding. You go to specific sections of the note to get a refresher. And there is always an element of reading where you are reading more. Into baby bia woche biano. So I reading as I said, but you know what this does? It prepares them psychologically, right, and intellectually. So at every time, baby obeko biano, or you're exposed to these things. With this, most of the schools in the public sector right now, transition to the International Baccalaureate system of planning, and that's a curriculum. International Baccalaureate, what it simply does is, in most parts of the public school system right now, there was a research that was conducted before this chancellor came, Chancellor Banks, before he came. Now we were using the common core standards across the board, the K-12 system, we were using the common core standards. But they were reviewing it. And as part of the review, they came to terms to say, standardized testing Wankasa is not holistic enough for judging Sakola way to me BB or not. Apart from that, so we'll call into the regions and even the SATs it looks like how you structure questions sort of disadvantages black people. For example, maybe by my license exam, English CST, I failed it. The reason why I failed it is in Ghana, now your curriculum, and I did my bachelor's in Ghana, I did one master's in Ghana. Your curriculum, more of the British into English now, for the bachelor's, I was studying the British curriculum, where you are doing things about Shakespeare and all of that, with a little bit of the American system. Into books are Akola Eco School America, where we did from middle school up to even the college level. I wasn't exposed to those books and concepts. Into my English or Ghana, I failed it. And I've told you the reason why. And see, what I'm trying to say is that they changed the common core to the next generation standards. And with this next generation standards, what it simply does is they are saying, say, let's expose the kids to international system. Into akolano to America, but near Oceano, as I say, what linkages with what is happening around the world. Said ya baby, a wobeko bia baby obejine bihano. Obetimi a function, and as a ban say you debating on issues, obetimi a debating to share the current curriculum that we are using. That is it. This made a state mandate into most of the public schools are mandatory curriculum for the kids. There's a new reading thing that they are doing, which ties back into the area that I talked about. And most of the schools is implementing international baccalaureate curriculum. And the international baccalaureate curriculum, they have a framework. Into the framework, na teachers a use. Na omwa say, okay, nkolano mede maame hana galaxy book bi mahano, but no one tiase. Enti ene say hana galaxy book no one tiase bi asa book no abofo ne mani wo mu dodo. Enti yemfa adwala bi die no niema akwa ne fi Ghana enti obetumi atiase. Niema akwa ne fi bi a Spain enti anaso ye Hispanic enti obetumi atiase. Enti ye fa ne sa no ane ye de ahyehye mu sa enti obia ehu ne ho ewo sa curriculum ni. And say banisa, for example, me say eniema de conflict benye. Conflict no, ebi wo ha internal, ebi wo ho no ma external. But this one say adwala bi de no kire me se na Ghana ntokwasem tie. Ana say wokọ in the Hispanic world ntokwasem tie ni ntino. Me tie ase more compared to say obekire me say wokọ England ntokwasem, because I've not been in England to me tie ase sir. It's a culturally responsive and I say culturally relevant. And see, this is the curriculum that they abba in the system, and it has every relevance to preparing us at the high school level for the college level. Now, at the high school level, no senior medical akano, and yamanu should help us in college. But because there are some gaps in the coursework component does not prepare us well. So we call colleges no. Yeah, mama can't say you say all the time. There is the lecturer will give you the readings into what the mawa what the say ko neko kai. Oti ase abra and I want ase kwa abra near in discuss it. Oti ase you want ase you, it's your own cup of tea. And see, say what the children are learning and whether it is preparing them well and answer and prepare them well. Now you say I feel once a bedu baby no baby say about question, now want me mount the actual responses because we have not bothered to know. We don't know. Into no they are not pushed to know. The second one is the level of experience of teachers. Ejidifo ma wo teacher and I will be teacher ni awone wo ba ye no sometimes enye ni nyina de but ma ehun hia mama mete me one typical example. I was home I think last 2 weeks na me family ye were Connecticut. The Connecticut curriculum is quite different from the New York City curriculum. Now, my bani teacher send me a text message. Or send me a text message I'm reading here. Na we chat me bano worksheet be our demand. Now worksheet no demand. Now it's a sentences I was on na 5 or 6. In fact, I know 5 say just 6-7 words. That suggests to say I didn't demand no. It has me bana antiase. And I say onim ya woye. And a teacher need message in fact, maybe I say, hey, that teacher be not sure say. And what they try your child is being tardy, your child is there and silly a whole lot. It means a text message, Any so all the evidence are come. And I may send a very simple text message say, thank you for sending me this update. That was my first line. My second line was, may I know the scaffolds and differentiation you give to my daughter to help her complete this work? That was it. About 10 minutes, I didn't get a response. So I called the school, the main office, and I was like, I am home today because now a holiday for New York City until I was home. I am home today. I would love to meet with the principal and this particular teacher. And me and I'm a friend school and I'm catch them say, connecting me to the teacher. They connected me. So I told her, say, I have spoken to the school. I would love to meet you and the principal. Ejidifo, it may shock you, say, immediately after I sent out about 3 minutes, na teacher no dey another evidence worksheet for fraba say, afedi amebana na ontimi intro ocho se 6 words or 7 words no. Wa trauma na fill a whole sheet of paper eyinyina enti. My next question, I be sending message my teacher and I said, what happened? One responded, until we are me call her. Until me call her and me catch her, so okay. To be honest, I don't do this. But enka yemina me che me beya dia. Anka ida se me man the sentence status. And I say me man no. Maybe say some questions no will lead Akolano to the answers that Obisan. You haven't given the Akolano a. All that I'm trying to say is say teacher niya ocha obadi no. Ejidi for we are all teachers. But any teacher for na was mre no say womo beche amanti ase aba. Ono de bi de ne so oba be ye adwuma na genesika akọ. Eti wan hwe yi a yebemwa that false eyirisem obane nyade sa ebi ye genuine but dodo no a problem on. Now after feeding into wadwe, it's a feeding into wadwe and the study shows say a majority of special education kids even at the high school level are blacks, and some of these reasons and a feeding into that. Well, instead say ebi abotre bi nti later na my wife catch him so teacher ne so no ni sa abotre na I say nkola ba ku mienu bi wo ho no mu a obe devote all the time or near my am say owo mi school an ka meyi nadi owo mi school a ka meyi nadi because I am of fan o ma baniti na ye tua nti all that I'm saying is say experience matters. And a teacher for any engagement, no, and here it goes a long way. Now, the third element a plaguey a mofra or high school, no, counseling services available. I once went to a school and there wasn't any I just almost call another school, no more another school, no counselor, no ababe woman. If your child's school is like that, I will advise it moving to another school, especially in the high school settings. And it is unfortunate to say, New York City provides all of these resources. Who a school system that provides a sea of resources in New York City because they have the money, we pay the taxes, our numbers are huge. But it's unfortunate to say we as a people, and especially here Ghanaians, we don't even make use of them. One of my students, Bekache, said, oh, what challenge be? And what I think said in my career, what I did was even at the high school as assistant principal, no, I am not supposed to teach like that. But I told my principal, say, I want to be in the classroom, into one class, so I can connect with the students and I will know how teachers are feeling. So there be meetings or no administrative bits, no. I will give the reality on the ground. Say teachers for no I'm challenging need say because means me chebi. And that was granted. Into I have a faith into I have this challenge, I have this challenge. I was like, okay, call your mom. Let's go see the guidance counselor. Meme Wohobi. then we talk about it and we resolve it. Ejide for akola na afei akwa se ne credits enhyeda nkoyie intino m1 manintimi and completing on a Now this guy was one of the top notch in the class. Through our conversation we got to know say teachers ni bi said ye bi awon ni omo be kasa ni eya na enkoyie mo nti ono no pent up feeling on person obe she nti work kra menye the youth no ya adwene bi no minim say akwan former dey yentesa. But if we are not involved, we may not know this to rectify it in time to help them go ahead with what they are doing. And that has to do with the counseling services. Now, as part of the counseling services, also guidance counselors, the New York City has a system. So log in, obehu say o credit awa so far ni, o regent awa pass one pass ye ni. Anyama we na say we ye. Na nyama no awo ye no, ebebo wa mo nya scholarship we ni. And I say, so to me, you drew her, Ubenya way anyway. They have all that information. So what China ye print near the brewa. Because we will need time untino. One, you are not even reviewing here the brew of you. But in Kaunya men our fair counselor no and I say school leader be no church who periodically otiase. And let me tell you one thing. A colebia and the parents, every teacher small. Every school no more no sa akola ni anyone ho. I remember I went to one of my man's school and they were like, you don't joke with these guys so adentia because ne papa friend pet obeba no ban so obe making sure say the ban problem ni a genuine problem you be resolve it, but any genuine problem one kasa no what are you doing? You don't need to be a school leader or a teacher or anything to know some of these things because here in Yako school pen. And uko school say abrofumu na sometimes they have a certain perception about here no. Ema sa nyama ni mo. Ma wo mu hu say you are genuinely interested in your child's education. The teacher ni ye bibi na onye ni ya. Ebi anu ya wuwu first impression. Bisa obi oben wo ebi are those that teachers that are in amongst us near you so say you odwen ho say genuine na obe ka cho say genuine na obe cho say okwa bisa teacher ni say nti agidi for ye ka dia akosi say ye be say ye man ye successful ye be say ye man call manim. We also have a role to play. Now, sentia ebia ye man mo challenges binti entimi mo nko na ye say coursework experience of the teachers ne counseling very important. Now, as part of the coursework, making sure say womba no regents you need about 5 regents and your credits to graduate. But if you get all courses in the regent, it puts you with an advanced diploma. And all courses no say it helps you to secure a lot of scholarships. Into your manual, you pick and choose no. If you are not invested in the child's education, you are not even going to know say or you pick and choose because you see the basic year 5. But if you are involved, you know say why ye 11th grade no na we na then you are exploring how obetimi enya advanced courses ni be for college and obeti away so. How many of us are aware of these kind of stuff? Ama yabwa yemano. We talked a lot about the difference between high school and the universities. We have 4-year colleges and then we have 2-year colleges. It's about baby to say the Bronx say hostels is only 2 years. There are other like that. The max you can do is associate degree and then you transition to 4-year colleges. It is designed so that a baby with baby steps. But the unique idea about university is say high school so dear most of the time teacher directed, parent directed, like teacher better, or so we say, or time management in your structure, money, all of that. High school, universities are not like that. Now, I for one, any no. Back in Ghana, Minya be anyone or call SS3. We all wrote our WASI in SS2 and then moved to the university. My little sister and a call training college. It is not because we are super brilliant to be an BPO. What I saw my father do, and my father is no more, but all the time, no questions our baby say teachers, no. Any one kasa said your no be time be a child near maybe will fear, no. At the time when ye kwako exam, no, na ye nim said do ye need third year there, but we were prepared. Into why do you waste time? Say ye invested, sir. And I think one of the best things my father ever did, and sana is that thing. And because I was able to do it, no, Nyodimechi did the same thing. Inti yemwa yemano ewo okwan saso. And I've already spoken, said the university level, no, a self-paced, any self-direction. And for it's okay, say you're being so busy, but equally important, say you're devoting most attention and a much of our time, no, to what is happening. For all the courses that I did, in fact, all the schools that I went to were a hey. Oh, say Rebecca Cho say a master's now. Yeah, the master's program no should be a maximum of 2 years. But I purpose in my heart to say a coursework na woye. Coursework no awoye nenso. Ubetimi take a maximum of 18 credits a semester. Say at the master's level. I don't know for the bachelor's level because I didn't do a bachelor's here. And I will hear 30 credits in total to get a master's degree in America. It's me, for example, for all masters that I did in America, I split it to 15 credits, 15 credits. Obibeka so ABI what the over time where they know what being you. You work Ghana no. A whole term at a high school no. Now we have more than even this because calculate is about 18 to 21 at the high school level now you. And so I had here. I'm stressed out. I'm this, I'm that. We are not serious. If genuinely that is it, go ahead with your pace. But you know what? When you do it like that, say me splitting the 15-15, you know. Although I was on scholarships, you know, say me use scholarship fee why, right? Let's assume say I wasn't on scholarship. So me use no fee why. What it means, they say a semester biano, who taking more than 6 credits, ne ye pengino at maybe 6,000, right? Let's say who take 6 one semester, 6,000. The next semester, who be take 6, now 6,000. The third semester, who be take another 6, now 6,000. Now cut 3. It will be take, yeah. So we take the account now. Let's say the account in every year of 5,000, right? So okay, one. If a average say 6,666 cry, 36,000. Into the school fees I would try for 2 years, no, will be $36,000. But if you master the courage, now make you what gonna say, now and I'll come back to the parent bit right now. What it means, they say any 6 credit or above. And it's all taking 6 credit or above. Not saying America say me 15. They say come to your school fees because you're pegging. It says 6 credit or above. 6,000 into no. Make you 6,000. And 15 no, it means that baby will be quite all year in 2 years or did you at 36,000. I mean, me to at 12,000 maybe. How did I do it? I hate it. Na me mami ni ha, but me kai pa say, abia me mami boss ankomo yi no. De bia nwumre bi obefre. Na course na ekosen. Ye ho why? Ebe ye. Just the thought say obi be some questions about course no say the aircon. It made me accountable. Na nka mpese me a me tua. Inti for all that I'm saying, they say the little things no ye bisa ye, you know. If we have build that relationship with your man, it goes a long way. Yadika ka how the course structure no. Say emboa your man. Yadika hunu say yankasa ye involvement no e wo mu nso a ebeboa ama your man edi ye. Hey, I was talking about and maybe at mommy, papa, our line so share. Nebisa honsem when you are your child is going to high school. One, bisa say, edeba dear pote pa na womo chre obano. Inti be a friend English teacher. English teacher na this week dear na musia. It could be say you don't have any idea about it. It could be say you have some idea about it. If you have some idea about it, it's okay. And if you don't have any idea about it, just say what bisano. A my teacher no essence be say, Papa way and never be uncle ya or beba baby sanwase. Now, if you want to obani dinky tahon say, oh, but you me percent ka also send your uncle to me, yeah. College courses bi or high school sinka utimi ye bi into school no mu obi a amene u teacher nkasa na ehwe kwan ya yebetumi afa so na yaye kasa nkete sa you have no idea how it helps. Ejidi for I have had about 3 parents bi a in fact my ma adwene say me school say ye kwa akoye any award a year e wo say me ma wo award said ya maami be frɛw na me ba no oya ade challenges be na wo see ye media me pese obeye nurse o okwan ben so na abefam say na mani age isan say this is a person that means well for nebaba enunti moma yenhwe sa ehoniye. I had a friend, he said also assistant principal. Anytime you are or no call one a marital problem no or no your school guidance counselor because they are trained for that. They are trained for that. I'm not saying say for what they have, but all that I am saying is say there are some and maybe a border ye ma disua say ye engage guidance counselors no they are very trained say omobe boya prepare ye. In fact, the application required to high schools no. It is the guidance counselors that work on it. It's every question be a one. Ask them. Their parents be or no more. Or mama be catch up so my bread into after school services be or no more. They don't even allow them to engage in. But imagine say uwo school oba after school apart from the academic one no your barbering club. Nti ye chom said ye yitie ni amomo ho certificate I betimi amaneti me dia ate na adwuma your eye and eyelash any a makeup class chom said ye makeup because ye wa ha nti wo nya ne nsa no adwuma your photography club agini for say ye kwa asori na omo twitwa photography no omo adwuma wo. I know of one guy. Every church service be over be also otiminya about $600 to $700. It is a no cry and a side hustle. Oja say the fact say me a doctor does not necessarily mean say no ebi obi home person obey but so wunim ya eboa. All that I am trying to say is say we should encourage our kids to take hands-on trade kind of after school services. You have no idea where it will come in handy someday. Now, so your parent. Now, after school, cry yeah school no cry. How do you enroll your kids? Now, your parents. Now, your parent teacher conference. Many principal and can say, oh, mommy, poppy, and school leader. Programs ben a mubetimi aya. Ebetimi ama ye may some traits be and say, give the suggestions. We listen. But it might interest you to know, say, parents ne bar line so ye ye parent teacher conference no. Oh, me bani grace no, okay, okay. Oh, bibia okay. Ye kan ya ne asre na off we go. We don't make any input. We don't make any suggestions. Let your kids' education be important to you. And so far, the Ayake Kenye, our high school should offer curriculum courses and prepare them for college. You can only know if you find out. So, who knew if you require to be a teacher and say, teacher, now, dear, maybe we so call college, until or quite mention that air far prepare or better said the air prepare fan. So, tell ne moon ya. So, to miss your son, Cassisa. Assessment, ne now I know, say, all the New York State, you're synchronizing into maybe I'll be I said yet. I was also talking about, say, as a church. Wow, you're nurse, wow, you're doctor, wow, you're teacher, wow, you're lawyer, who go school now, be Mama, ye mentor ye young adults, no, in that sense. And the other time I was speaking to one of our leaders, he said, yeah, sorry, thank you to me. We should do a survey and get all the on your person. Now, omo, episode be or doctor, your doctor be one, nipa be 5, no, we pair the doctor with that 5 people. Your teacher be one, nipa be 5, we pair that with the teacher. Say your lawyer be one, ye pair sir. And from an early age, no, every 2 weeks, be na say every month, be almost uncle for Asia. Na new nearma abano, ye try, see a bit church woman. So, person obey ya, see necessary you. So, person, see if you see as a polar obey 10th grade. Now, if you see as only 12th grade, you know, not or you're exposed. Summer, I am more funny day. There were a lot of internship program. We have a lot of your friend is saying career programs, apprenticeship programs. Are we asking our kids to explore and use these kind of programs? And answer one the answer one bring to one meda. See if you see a good insurance temwa ye ni be ko contem. Say you fear see anya ne sa nte wo say ye be kono the first 2 colleges na ye bread na ye o ma ye fear see ntem na onyame be boy e ba cho I think say me de be see how ho na say questions na say emwa bi wo ho a ye de aka ho.
Elda Eda was power Abisia or the Amaye and ne. Mpacho questions and contributions be or honoma ebitimia basisi. Mpacho be any bibia. Any question, contribution, anything.
Patromit me akasa.
Mpachane.
Mr. EUGENE, say na go show. Na with regards to masters, no, any credit hours, no. Mr. Nedium, project work na eka ho na we are within short time, no, maybe 16. I don't know the number of months or the year. In 2005, may apply for a new master's. How how do you use a typical example? For instance, a new master's in mathematics, and in such a person, I mean, about it, you know, practically, how do I go about it? Saying a measure, say apply, time being admission, you know, now then match up set credit hours with our person, estimated time, I'm having to the area, something like that. That's
Okay, very good question. You're happening. So in US, you know, the application time now, I think it starts from January to March, sometimes April, maximum, maybe a first week of April, but most of them, no, around March 30th. It is up as I will call in the fall, which is the August starts, no. You apply that time and you get in. Now, with regards to either dissertation or thesis and all of that, you know, for me, mine is in it. But this is the catch. In America, you work Ghana, no. So, if you have a PhD after your schooling, you need an MPhil. But in America, and I think the whole of the advanced countries, most of the advanced countries, putting this up, an MA, and I say MSc, and I say MEd, all the yina enye MPhil, so far as I have masters now, it qualifies you to do a PhD. And what happens is, well, there are some courses that a mawo ye thesis and I say dissertation. And now there are some courses, programs are and no mawo ye what we call the coursework. Our advice is say always opt for the coursework than the dissertation. And make sure so coursework no year that coursework may be A or an A minus. It is the same thing. About America, the only thing that thesis exposes you to say a bema will exposure to how to do research in a very holistic way, and only the advantage of it. Coursework a preliminary but so we have coursework year and I will grade the correct, it still will get you through the PhD door. For me, what I did was coursework, because any thesis now here IRB, it is not going to keep long. It's most of the time coursework say for that semester no that coursework near 6 credits. It is because any here IRB approval be a better just gathering data. They just want to see so let me analyze the data near Once you do that, they give you the and then you are able to finish on time. But your grade should be good, because when you want to do the PhD, they factor not only it's a whole holistic package, right? It's never say the whole school, if there were a year and our church or articles be our church, not necessarily published ones, but if it meets the criteria for APA standard, you add all of them, and when they review, they know say, oh, okay, well, statistics, was not that okay, but what church where the APA system near we will help you with the statistics so you move on. That was my approach. You're wrapping us in your media.
Virtual, any other questions?
Lampacho scholarship is so fine na basic maybe
a whole different conversation. It's next week, you remember.
How do we do it? In fact, in your bar or college. Now, some of the points I will mention, is so true. Say,
in a way that I wish I said I had heard self-tutoring maybe before. Though I think I did some of the things that I work on with the parental involvement, But I feel say it could be knowing the insights out there, I probably would have gone another step further. I mean, Israel. I'm said next week, scholarship because I'm at that very point. Yeah, it's the first time one out of 4 cases, the first one going. So I say, you left, you right. I mean, definitely in need of that. I advise. Now, you can say, maybe as a parent, maybe I went to me and yet some of these things. You are at a level who say, yes, Obano or you're smart today, he's good, but who say independence wise, if you're a college, when you're 100% sure, say, it's near or no independent function, say no be how can as the parent me I prepare me for that journey? Because I've been to college before. I know what it's like. You're on your own. There's a college mate or sorry, I will better me and how what advice would you give to parents on how to better prepare our kids that big step?
Sister Penny, thank you for the question. Now, college in 70 days, not Nikano, aye, a yikaka. But this is my advice. One who said, Bano College, Konwa, what I have noted was a Ghanaian environment, say, yeah, man, most of the time would not want to stay where their parents are. They always want to go a different state. Now, say, it happens, sir. Now, Obano said, their mommy, GYEKYE. So, to me, I'm prepared no to the level of our that independence. Either so picky behaviors, the best advice I always give is say, if Seminia and I'm a back is in the category where I feel that in spite of all the smartness I will wish to say be a new scholarship no na difference bebemu kesia. The first year no obeste in the place that I am. Said there be many ebe kone ho because in America no all the time we transfer to school for free. It is a o stay no ana e bia o monitor na wo hwa na bia ye dia then we are going forward no o na apply no what transfer. And the good thing is and I can only speak with New York because though I am in Connecticut, I'm in New York. Also New York no because of the Excelsior scholarship tab nesa a yinintino. The biabeko bia scholarship ne de if your money and a woman no papasika and track a certain threshold. It makes it easier. I don't know how, for example, Connecticut scholarship system no but New York being in the system, I know that they have the funds and they make use of the funds on the bebwa. Number one, try say Obana baby I work a car. So that what me am monitor share a yika and transfer say or consua say ban say so say my ni idiomacy and this is not only the parents' role. I remember that I told First Ghana any say education department now an education department. And your responsibility no one say education day ni abe preach some or no. We should be very holistic say as a department no ye more for call out college na no ya share in a port system. Enti Sister Judah our education department or kola 3 bia na ni di omachi aside them amene ne papa. Sister Christina our education department or kola 3 bia na ni di omachi aside them amene ne papa. Enti ne amene ne papa ntimi amfre a Sister Judah and Sister Christina frɛ e pa to mu yisu di as example keke. E ba ne sa e boa mo say church no ye ni kuom ho 1 and 2 e boa mo dwen say Obi dream me ho saa dia, I should not disappoint. Nti ni nyina aboa me da ase mo me.
Sure.
Amen.
Elder question. Mpachoye mamba sontem. Mpachoye nswa yeni kola afene ya nkola nkitwa no omuku school. Because sometimes no that what you can say, you have to engage them in some programs, but some of them are expensive. Then free
That's a very good one. Mommy, over me connect ticket here. What was that? Me school or me woman no. The state no provide the funds. Until I think that the budget for my school is about 2.5 million. Until at the end of the school year no more the though it is controlled at the central level no. Over so LC a tobu so LC activity we say no move like that. But the amount budget of about I think how many guys about 2.6 to 2.7 million. Over the to say Connecticut, I don't know what is happening. Every day, baby, I see betua. There was a time when you catch up say, you see picture day. Near the bill about almost $200, and I say, what? Now, me may betua picture day when school is free now. Day. That tells you say schools will have funding or schools will have funding, no. And I mean putting it say states be and a borrow be funding no yedema. Maybe one no more yem farmer. Me mark school so omu koye mistake na lunch e de ma omo eni no omu kodi school lunch a ba na de bill asom eyi omu bag mu se betua ba me so me school am wo omu kodi lunch e free eti the transition was a bit difficult eti programs ni bi wo ho no mo a said the awoka no expensive. Speak with the principles of the you say and this is what we have not realized. In every school in New York City, there is a team that we call the SLT, School Leadership Team. That school leadership team, no parents, are focal in that. It say, ma budget for a schooler. The UFT chapter leader, any the parents team, no, and they deciding what activities are here for the school. Sometimes the principals don't say it. It's very important to say only school no ubani school no principal no ebenya he say and college our programs we suggested and let's see what happens. But ekobani say ye ntimi nye esanse fans ni ho anase eyi dia then ABS ya the boy ho ba ya the boy ho so ayenye careful with us.
Okay, yeah, that was sick. But will be able to be at the end of the day, will be your number, say you bet to me.
No problem. For me, my own Kassan check. I made my number no ever to her.
Okay.
64627119113. What I say, a banner said, Suku Hun Sam, there may mean nurse, mean doctor. I feel I'm a PhD, but in education. It will be some doctor who someone meet me and sound, mean can and troncho. But a school who someone there, who be some meet me about me, that's it.
Okay, but your number never now call ABRI the
Me patro,
Your number now, I believe say call chat no ti o check
yeah.
it.
Yo, me patro question for bi wo ho ana. Yo, me patro say these are penny questions need to answer wo hu Ethel.
I believe so.
Yo, the questions need to answer they are for I'm taking this opportunity to invite you all to next Friday youth for the session. I know say youth for no say I am penny for was so I am person kasa and all of that, but me semo Mama yɛnyinaa yɛmbra youth line is on Friday, so we do the scholarship one no in one. Said ya you bit me I'll try, so I'll be very succinct with that. Said you be more questions and answers and all of that. Now aboye with the college staff no onyame enka ye ho. Amen.
Amen. Elder, that was the power edition of the Amayenne. I believe that parents are line sunina now ocheche ebebo mo pa na omo so yen and so the results are omunya from that. That was it pa patrol the number no elder number or chat any questions are all relating to school, I guess high school ne elementary school no sometimes college too no with me as Sunday ama elder na wabwao ewo patrol mesa so ada Yonkodoradio so ase ye weekly program your mobile super record my they also live stream it on YouTube. Emma, people listen to it on YouTube too. Tia beda o master pass every Sunday biano or mobile ebe record day program in my or more a record we so or more send a link to Queen's Women Ministry for WhatsApp group no almost send a link there. Ti obia wants me and be biano. With me akotie wo YouTube channel no so na say with me I send the link no amom program ni patro ye program no elder and patro say obetimi abompaye a close it out program na maye
yo agidi for ahobasie mo maye mo mpaye that's ensanyame yeda wasie nwumre yo eyi wa ye kanfo udin bio se adom no nti o make provision se nwumre yi yenka suku ho nsem odomfo ni mobrohunfo chono ma yete ase se onipa susu na so nyame wagina tuo na ye ho eno nti abra ye discuss high school ho nsem na se ne ye transition free high school akọ college si yes so ena wama nsem yi adua baby pa ewo yemu yesrew ena waboa yan ama ya reach out whenever we are in need yesrew ena wahu yan mobo yan ma ho na wonsu ku sem America mountain so ayedia efata ne se werade odonfo ye bisa wo ho adomo mo ase ye ma wo high schools no yese na wabo won ho ban so nkokwan so yese ena wa ma picket trait ye papa yese na wama wani ekun adesua ho na se bene don do na wo apply ya wa grant them the mercies and the favor wo mo de benya admissions into schools yehoa ebeboa won daachen wasore anywhere twima ye de parents so hye won sawo odefo ni mobrohunu fo to da bia ewiase abrabo ni nyumanti na cloud your mind ama eniem bi ho ayemfa yani nko ho ye de ahobrase sew se huye mobo na the same attention yenyama yenyuma no yenyasa attention no ama yemma adesua ene yemma suku sem ho yeda wasio ye sister obe coordinate program yi ma yen yeda wasio enipa ona madom so eka won wontumi join ye ese no wa yo bibiara moa ese no wa hia wo bibiara ye kona watwe foforo mu odonfo ye nim ne ewo mu but ye nim ne say ye wonyame a wonim the end from the beginning eno nti ebrei mu ahobrase pa ne yeso se ti ye free petuwo ni esan mu ye be wo haw ni amane yehu abo ye ho ban free ho wo a wo hyira no hyira ye nwuma so wo a wo hyira no hyira ye mfie wo a wo hyira no hyira ye ma wo a wo hyira no de biara da ye fe ne se ne no ye de hye onsa se dia wo ye Israel fo wo jafa dum ne mununkum dum no ye wo jafa dum ne mununkum dum sa ye jodi se wo kan ye ho enye ne akwasi mehwehwe dia wo Awurade wo penama enye ho o Yesu ni mu nti amen.